After missing out on round 2 because of my connection issues, I was raring to go for this week's angry road trip with friends and managed to maintain my spot into Division 3 because of a few dropouts here and there. I started up in 4th position on the grid, so I've got no complaints there, but as you'll have just seen, I got bumped back into 7th after the first corner. I probably should have held it in tight, but I got a nice screechless start there and I thought I'd have a chance to go wide and grab a position, but all I did was, bump into Mo, which slowed me down enough to get pummeled into the barrier. So, not the best start for me, no bad blood, shit happens. So I had a couple of practice sessions beforehand and tinkered and tampered with my build and finally settled on tuner wheels and stock brakes and suspension. Once again, it was a near flawless start for everyone, but as I began to approach the second lap here, Mo seems to have made a mistake at the farmer's market, which proved to be the hellish for just about everyone in this race, as you'll find out, and that allowed me to gain 6th position. I pressed hard in the second lap and attempted an overtake on Boxman here, but was being held up by ZPN up in 3rd. He made a mistake around the opening corner which caused some shoulder rubbing as the three of us tussled it out. I tried to sneak up on the inside, but it wasn't enough to gain a position. ZPM continued to hold me up for the following lap, and during the 4th lap I swung it extra wide for this left-hander here, but failed to maintain traction during the run out. ZPM nearly plows into the beachfront shack, which allowed me to summon just enough speed to execute a clean overtake. I managed to build some momentum for the following laps, and after flirting with Boxman and Easter Egg for a little bit, I decided I wasn't doing myself any favours by losing time and risking a collision, so I hopped in for my first of 2 pit stops, which was a windy little thing, and I lost my windshield in the process, so I was eating horseflies for the rest of the race, but I don't think it affected me too much. Getting my first pit stop out of the way freed me up a lot and allowed me to get some rhythm and punch out some low 54s for a few laps, with myself eventually catching up to Matt Wilkie. I was forced to have to overtake ZPA again after my pit stop, but he was a little more stubborn in his attitude to defend me as he goes wide leading up to the left-hander and pops out on my inside. I maintained integrity coming down from the bridge and give him room, but the container turns into an Olympic springboard and fends Boxman away and pops up ZPM onto his back like a turtle, wiggling his legs, and look at that. What a beautiful sight. Nothing beats some rear view mirror carnage. So after ZPA and Boxman rudely interrupted our bonding time, Matt Wilkie and I finally got some space to ourselves and spent some quality time together, with myself following him closely like a sex-depraved drunkard at a nightclub. Baby, just have a sip. Come on, isn't this how it works? You buy someone a drink and alright, I'm going. And you can put your high heel back on your foot. I mean, hey, if you don't want me looking, then wear a turtleneck, sweater or something. God damn, I'm only flesh and blood, like, I have instincts, Half time, alright, who's brought the oranges? Don't worry, Crow Gamer, we've got some grapefruit for those bitter taste buds of yours. Now this was the pivotal moment in the race for me. Matt Wilkie must have made a mistake here and failed to flick that invisible switch like Mo Youngster was expecting him to, so there was a slight collision there bumping me up into 4th. But the racers in 1st and 2nd position had yet to take their second pit stop, so technically I was contending for 1st position with Nima. So it was a crucial point in the race for me, but I could feel the heat behind me as Matt fights for his position, and Mo could not contain his anger and took me out after the overpass there. With myself and Matt already side by side on the road, there was no overtake there for Mo Youngster, so I think he let his frustration get the better of him there. But to his credit, he held up for me, but we both lost 2 positions in the process and lost any real chance of getting a win. So no bad feelings there, mate. I just want to wrap your head in a little headlock there and give you a little knuckle scratch on your noggin, you fiery youngster, you. Fire in the hole. Boom! Oh god. These water volcanoes were great for keeping the fruit fresh, but my god, were they getting on my nerves. So with both of my pit stops out of the way, I had no choice but to slog it out and wait patiently behind Boxman for an opportunity. And knowing I needed 5th position to get a promotion, I was determined to get an overtake, so I pulled it extra wide and tried to get a good enough run out of this corner to ease past it, but I hit the barrier. I managed to correct myself, but it was not enough for me to get around this corner full throttle, and I slammed into the hedges. So I lost a position in about 5 seconds, which was very disappointing for me, and really is a perfect example of why I shouldn't premeditate a corner. Because, you know, telling myself I'm going to go full throttle around a corner is a recipe for disaster, and hopefully I'll learn from my mistake. I was all alone for the next few laps, which served as a nice little time out to reflect on my mistakes and think about what you did, young man! At this point, I accepted the fact I'd remain in Division 3. Reconcile, you mightn't remember me, buddy, but I remember you. The Grinch of the waiting list. You're lucky 2 wrongs don't make a right, buddy. So I jump on his inside and come within millimeters of the stop sign there. I fail to grab the outside on the overpass and cut it close to the barrier, but it wasn't enough. I managed to ease off the throttle nice and early and smack it down before the checkpoint in an attempt to get a good run through this last section here. Reconcile gets blinded by the water fountains, fumbles for the windscreen wipers and forgot to change gears in the process, so I grabbed the inside, approaching the left-hander and shaved the barrier there. Reconcile bounces off the container, trying to give me room while allowing me to slide into 6th position, and someone's in the pits. Oh, could it be? Yes! 5th position! Hot dog! A promotion! Oh, we're getting an infinity pull, kids. We're getting an infinity pull. Yes! Oh, fucked up. Oh, Matt Wilkie, you've done it again, my good friend. We're meant to be. We're meant to be. Alright, so I've grabbed the inside leading onto the bridge in what appears to be a near identical battle as the previous lap, with Crow Gamer now giving me some trouble from behind. I get enough speed for an overtake on Wilkie, but the fruit market comes up with the goods, once again boosting him into the 27th lap, and oh, Crow Gamer, the mighty duck checks me into the boards, but I give him a big don't argue back and he holds on to his 5th position. Look, it wasn't me, Crow. The pimple had already popped. Unlucky, buddy, it got me earlier as well. This was my quickest lap with a 53.6. 53.9, come on Wilkie, you're gonna need a tea towel for all that forehead sweat. Come on mate, come on. Forget all the premeditative horseshit sending. Come on, take this one flat out, do it. Oh, inches within it, I get the gear change. Oh, I've got the speed carry. Oh, Matty. Oh, Matty, you cheeky bugger. Nice little Mayor Ryan roadblock there, you sneaky fuck. Alright, last ditch effort. I pull it in tight and get a hold of the inside. I miss out on the organic fruit market and the fibrous stool, but the constipated canary whistles its way up into the 31st lap and into 4th position. That wraps it up, my fellow chimps. It was a bit of an up and down race for myself, with a few collisions and accidents here and there, but overall I had fun and was satisfied with my result. You know, I get just as frustrated as the next guy when pit maneuvers happen, but when you're in a race driving these little whippersnippers and with water fountains bursting and fruit stands in the way, I feel like it's almost impossible to get angry, because it's just funny. Like, really, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was trying very hard to win, but it's hard to take a race like this seriously. In saying that, I did enjoy the track. The Circuit del Heber. I don't know. I'd pronounce it wrong either way, so forgive me on that one. And with such a short track like this, there was always going to be problems with the abundance of cars everywhere, but it seemed to turn out okay. If I had my race over, I would have jumped into my 2 pit stops a little bit earlier to get a clear path and avoid being held up, because the winner of this race, Nima, did just that, and it turned out to be a very good strategy, with him getting them out of the way in the first couple of laps, then cruising his way up inconspicuously and winning comfortably. Of course, I'm not taking anything away from his driving. Obviously, he did a very good job, but it's something I'll definitely consider doing in the future. You know, the only problem with it is that, you know, if you crash and your car is cooked, that's it. You'll either have to pit 3 times or race with some damage. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Bring on Division 2.